Wednesday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m., it's the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame, just north of Haymarket Park at 500 Charleston Street.
Hello? Hello?
Believe it or not, old phones are one of the most common pain points in offices today. Many of these phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with your cell for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
This is a presentation of the Nebraska State High School Basketball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. State basketball broadcasts are presented by Next Ag Appraisal and Realty, Sandhills Global, Doane University, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Wingstop, Acres, High Electric, Eustis Body Shop, Nebraska Hematology Oncology, Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, Roofing Service Company, Union Bank and Trust, Lincoln Financial Chiropractic, and DOT Highway Safety Office, Jimmy John's, Members Owned Credit Union, Nebraska Army National Guard, Hamilton Telecommunications, and the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame. Now calling all the action from Pinnacle Bank Arena, here's Nick Sainert.
Welcome back into Pinnacle Bank Arena one final time this week as it's the D2 state title game. 23 games down, one more to go in our coverage of the NSAA Girls State Basketball Championships. Pleased to be joined with you. Nick Sainert coming at you courtside from Pinnacle Bank Arena. We have a good one on tap as it is the 4-seeded Dorchester Longhorns. As you can hear the fans cheering behind me, going up against the 2-seeded with a record of 25-4, the Fall City Sacred Heart Irish. It's going to be a good one. Let's tell you about them. Dorchester first, as the Dorchester Longhorns 25-2 on the year. They come in after knocking off Silver Lake in the quarterfinal game by a score of 38-37. Then they were able, and unfortunate, might be a good word choice there as well, that the 8-seed Wilcox-Hildreth squad knocked off top-seeded Shelton in the quarterfinal because that then allowed Dorchester, instead of having to play top-seeded Shelton, to play Wilcox-Hildreth. They ended up knocking off Wilcox-Hildreth 39-31 in a semifinal matchup last night in the Devaney Center, and that earned them a ticket to today's matchup. For Fall City Sacred Heart, they are very familiar to this landscape of what we call the state tournament. They are a 8-time state champion in the class of D1 and D2 combined. They are a 5-time runner-up. So in their 29th appearance so far, they have 13 state championship game appearances. Today is their 14th state championship game appearance. Fall City Sacred Heart, 25-4 on the year. They beat Ensemble Marina, by a score of 57-33 in Thursday afternoon's game. Then they knocked off Archangels Catholic on Friday night in the nightcap to earn their spot in today's state championship game. Nick Sainert with you, Jackson Kleinschmidt back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. We'll get you rolling with starting lineups here in just a moment. First, for the Dorchester Longhorns, they're going to start the same starting five that we saw in their previous matchup this week. If you have not been paying attention the rest of the day, though, we've had some really decent basketball games, and I say decent because the talent has been there. Maybe the margins, though, that the games were decided by were not the closest of them. However, we've seen Millard West handle West Side in Class A earlier this afternoon. Omaha Skutt just knocked off Gretna East by double digits. Our best game of the day probably came from Class C1 and C2, where Lincoln Christian knocked off Milford, and then Elkhorn Valley fell and blew a late lead to Oakland Craig in Class C2. earlier this morning, we had a curb stomping of the Pender Pendragons when Maddie Dolliver broke another state record. This time it was for most three-pointers made in an entire state tournament. And so now today, as well, I should say tonight, as we have an 8:20 tip-off time, Dorchester and Fall City Sacred Heart attempt to change the narrative. The starting lineup for the Dorchester Longhorns, like I mentioned, 25-2. They're led by head coach Brandon Bruja. They will start the same starting five. In number 2, a 5'4" senior guard, Gabby Tice. Number 12, a 5'8" sophomore forward, Lily Lear. A number 13, 5'8" senior guard, averaging 7 points per game, Baylor Barons. Number 30, the leading scorer for the Dorchester Longhorns, 5'7" senior guard, Atlee Zubik. And number 34, a 5'8" junior forward, Bailey Ties. For the Fall City Sacred Heart Irish, they're led by head coach Luke Santo. They're going to start with their 25-4 record. Number 2, a 5'5" junior guard, Avery Santo. Number 3, a 5'6" sophomore guard, Dorothy Cruz. Number 10, a 5'6" junior guard, Daisy Witt. Number 12, a 5'9" senior forward, averaging 15.5 per game, Gentry Lechtenberg. And number 35, a 5'9" sophomore, Hallie Jones. Like I mentioned a moment ago, appreciate you guys hanging out with us all week long. This is game 24 for us, I should say, rather, since Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. when we got it all started. We will have Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday off from state hoops, and then we start it all up on Wednesday with the boys state tournament, and we do it the same thing all over again. Fall City Sacred Heart is going to be in the white uniforms, Dorchester in their road black with the word Longhorns spread across the chest in the orange letters and numbers. The tip is controlled by the Longhorns as Zubek has it, and she gets it to Gabrielle Ties. Ties now to Barons. Barons with it at the logo. This is going to be a good one. 4 seed versus the 2 seed. The 4 seed Longhorns going up against the 2 seed Irish. On the right side, here is Barons for Dorchester. She drives baseline, gets cut off, loses the basketball. It will stay with the Dorchester Longhorns. Fall City Sacred Heart, the Irish going up against the Longhorns of Dorchester. Baseline inbound here for Dorchester as Zubek looks to inbound. She gets it into Barons. Barons on the right wing. Now to Ties. This is Bailey Ties looking for help. Finally has some help, denies it. Now the layup in the lane is no good on the attempt, and the defensive rebound controlled by Fall City Sacred Heart. As here comes number 12. This is Gentry Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg in the lane, kicks it out to Santo. Santo for 3. She can't get that one to fall. Offensive rebound, Fall City Sacred Heart. Bodies on the floor as she tries to save it from going out of bounds, and it will be Dorchester basketball here with 7:15 to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless here. I apologize in advance if my voice gives out every now and then. 7:09 to go in the first quarter. Left side here is Ties. Ties with the basketball down to the other Ties. Back out Gabrielle Ties. Shoots the 3, can't connect, and the rebound goes into the hands of Santo for the Fall City Sacred Heart Irish. Here comes Santo, picks up her dribble, looking for a teammate, and she finds her friend, that is Witt, at the top of the key. 6:48 to play first quarter. Here's Witt. She steps back, fires the 3, unable to connect, and there's still lids on the bucket, as we've seen the entirety of the day. Here comes Gabrielle, Ties. Ties passes left side to Barons. Barons was leading scorer in the first win of the tournament for the Dorchester Longhorns. Here's Zubek. Zubek on the left side now, Barons. Barons once again fakes left, goes right, top of the key now. Here it is to Lily Lear. Lear gives it to Ties. Ties back down to Lear on the block. It's knocked out of her hands and controlled now by Krause of the Fall City Sacred Heart Irish. She throws it with one hand down the floor to Santo. Santo back out. Back to Santo on the right side. Near the top of the key, here is number 10. This is for Daisy Witt. Daisy Witt passes to Gentry Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg throws it right side. The three-pointer by Santo is good. So Santo is able to hit the three-pointer from the near corner, and Dorchester will come back the other way, trailing 3-0. Bailey Barons with the basketball, top of the key. She has it. She gets it to Gabrielle Ties. 5:39 to play first quarter. Here's the kick out. Lily Lear for 3. She airballs that one, and we have a foul called against the Dorchester Longhorns as this one's going to go on Zubek. Shout out to the Fall City Sacred Heart students that made the trip. As now Falls City Sacred Heart will bring the ball up the floor. Dorchester trailing 3-0. Falls City Sacred Heart, Santo with the basketball. She throws it down in the paint. Here is Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg with the basketball, splits the double, kicks it out. Santo. Santo dribbles in, kicks it right side. Now here is Kraus. Kraus down low in the lane. The layup is no good, just a tad strong on the attempt by Hallie Jones. And Jones unable to get the layup to fall, and it's going to be Dorchester basketball. On the left side, it's Gabrielle Ties. Ties with the basketball. Down low, it goes to the other Ties. Back out Gabrielle. Gabrielle with it at the left elbow. Kicks it out top of the key. Right side now. Zobek for three into Tie. She can't connect. Rebound tipped around a couple of times, but controlled by the Irish. Here comes Falls City Sacred Heart. Up the floor it goes. On the left side is the Falls City Sacred Heart Irish up in the lane, and a foul is called with 4:38 to go in the first quarter. And going to the line to shoot two shots will be number 12, Gentry Lechtenberg, the senior forward averaging 15 points per game. The first one by Lechtenberg is good. 3-0 your score. .438 to play first quarter. 4-0 is your score. Falls City Sacred Heart out in front of Dorchester. The shot on the second free throw is also through the hoop. It's 5-0 Falls City Sacred Heart with 4.5 to play in the first. Dorchester with the basketball. Bailey Barons with it right side now. Gabrielle Ties. Ties will almost get it taken away from her. Now down low, it's number 23, Mackenzie Yeager, as she gets it. A fight on the hardwood for that loose ball, and it's going to be a jump ball given to the Irish. So Mackenzie Yeager unable to haul that one in and keep possession of that basketball. Number 5, Olivia Schweitzer, also checked in for the Dorchester Longhorns. We have a timeout on the floor. We'll step aside as well. 5-0 your score. Falls City Sacred Heart out in front here early on in this one in the D2 championship game. We'll be back in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hello? Hello?
Believe it or not, old phones are one of the most common pain points in offices today. Many of these phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with yourself for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Attention Nebraska sports fans, are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join us and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard, guard the good life.
Now back to the action at Pinnacle Bank Arena for the 2025 State Basketball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Pinnacle Bank Arena, 5-0 is your score. 4:24 to go in the first quarter. Falls City Sacred Heart leads by 5-0 over the Longhorns of Dorchester. Game number 24 of the week for us here on The Ticket. All right, here we go. Falls City Sacred Heart will get the basketball out of the media timeout. It was a jump ball for Falls City Sacred Heart that earned them this possession. Here comes number 10 for Falls City Sacred Heart, Daisy Witt. Witt passes now left side. Here it is with Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg dribbles around the screen, now throws it out right side, back to Daisy Witt. Witt has it right wing, looking down low, trying to get the ball to Hallie Jones, unable to do so. Now top of the key, it's Gentry Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg in the lane, she's bumped, no whistle, and the missed layup will go into the hands of the Dorchester Longhorns. 3:57 to play in the first quarter. Here comes Baylor Barons. Barons passes right side to Schweitzer. Schweitzer now to Ties. Ties left side to Barons. Barons looks down low, working as Lear now into Ties. The layup will not fall. The bucket has not been easy to come by yet for the Dorchester Longhorns. Pushing the pace, Lechtenberg. Then that will be a charge called on Gentry Lechtenberg. She put up the shot as she went into the defender of Baylor Barons. And Baylor Barons draws the charge. It'll be Dorchester Longhorn basketball. 5-0 your score, 3:37 to go in the first quarter. Baylor Barons crossing the timeline. Barons with it, passes it right side to Zubek. Zubek, top of the key to Ties, left side to Barons. Barons with it, screen right by Ties. She goes around it. Now back to Gabrielle Ties. Don't forget, Gabrielle is a senior. Bailey Ties is a junior. Now on the right side, Lily Lear with it for Dorchester. She's stuck in the paint, kicks out Gabrielle Ties for three. She airballs that one as the ball is now deflected out of bounds, last touched by the Irish, so it'll stay on this end of the floor with the Dorchester Longhorns. Dorchester struggling to find the bottom of the bucket. They're trailing 5-0 here, 5 minutes into this game almost. As Zubek, the inbounder, they get it into Bailey Ties. Ties now to Lily Lear. Lear looks at it, top of the key, right side Zubek, fires the three on the way. It's banked in on a Saturday night, 5-3. 2:55 to go in the first quarter. And as the cliche saying goes, the bank is open on a Saturday evening. Here we go as it's Lechtenberg down low as that invigorates the Dorchester crowd. Falls City Sacred Heart trying to answer. They're unable to do so. Gabrielle Ties gets the defensive rebound, and we're going back the other way. Here on the right side, it's Zobek. Zobek with it. She gets met by Lechtenberg, almost lost the basketball. Now to Gabrielle Ties, who passes it to Barons. Barons goes left. Jumper to Ty, can't get it to fall. The offensive rebound, no good. And we have a late whistle and a foul called. And it will send, I believe, this is going to send number 12, Lily Lear, to the line to shoot 2 shots. So Lily Lear, she shoots free throws, 2 of them. The first one on the way, it's no good. Two minutes, 25 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's 5-3. Falls City Sacred Heart out in front by 2 with one more free throw coming up. And the second free throw is good for Lily Lear. 5-4 is your score. 2:25 to go in the first quarter. Here comes Falls City Sacred Heart. With it is Daisy Witt. Daisy Witt backs out. She's wide open from the three-point line, does not take it. And on the other end, a shot is blocked on the attempt by Lechtenberg, and Dorchester comes back the other way. Gabrielle Ties with the basketball. She steps back, fires from 3, and she's unable to make that one. It's deflected out of bounds. The last touch by Falls City Sacred Heart. So Dorchester with a baseline inbound underneath their own hoop. Zobek to be the inbounder. Dorchester inbounds it to Gabrielle Ties on the left wing. Top of the key now to Lily Lear. Lear in the right side of the lane, drives right past the defender, unable to hit the layup, and it will be a defensive rebound for Reschke. Checking into the game, Alice Reschke for the Falls City Sacred Heart Irish. Santo can't hit on the trifecta, and it will be out of bounds. Last touched on the shot by Falls City Sacred Heart. 1 minute, 44 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's 5-4 Falls City Sacred Heart on top of Dorchester. Dorchester has the basketball, though, as Baylor Barons brings it up the floor. She'll cross the timeline. Barons passes it right side to Zobek. Zobek with it now inside the free throw line. Great pass inside Lily Lear with the layup, and Dorchester's on a 6-0 run. Here comes the Falls City Sacred Heart Irish. They kick it out. Far corner. Santo with it. Santo dribbles top of the key. Almost lost the basketball. Now back to Daisy Witt. Witt with the basketball. She fires the 3. It rims around the cylinder and drops out of the rim. And it will be 6-5 Dorchester as they have the basketball. Less than 1 minute and 5 seconds remain in the first quarter. Gabrielle Ties. Dave Bailey Ties. Jumper can't go. And Falls City Sacred Heart coming back the other way. The Irish working to Lechtenberg in the lane. The jumper, no good. It's tipped out of bounds to the Dorchester Longhorns. Six to 5 is your score. Dorchester out in front by 1 point. 51.6 shows on the game clock. Here at Pinnacle Bank Arena, Bailey Barons brings the ball across the timeline directly in front of us here, courtside at PBA. Here's Barons on the right wing, Passes it left side to Gabrielle Ties. Ties back out to Behrens. Behrens fires the three away. No good on that one. And a nice closeout and box out by Daisy Witt of Falls City Sacred Heart. One shot ability as the shot clock is dark for Falls City Sacred Heart. Mackenzie Yeager is also checked back into the game for the Dorchester Longhorns. Here on the right side, it's number 3, Kraus. That is Dorothy Kraus. She gives it to Daisy Witt. 10 seconds on the game clock here in the first quarter. Daisy Witt steps back. 3-ball on the way. Got it. Daisy Witt extends the lead 8-6. The three-quarter court heave is going to be well short. And at the end of the first quarter of play, Falls City Sacred Heart leads Dorchester 8-6 as we enter quarter number 2. We'll step aside, come back in 60 seconds right after this from PBA on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, bestie! Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too.
My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own.
Always in the driver's seat, huh?
Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot.
Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop.
Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Now back to the action at Pinnacle Bank Arena for the 2025 State Basketball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Pinnacle Bank Arena, the site for the Class D2 State Championship game. Nick Sainer with you, courtside at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Jay Foreman no longer here. As I appreciate Jay so much throughout this week for him hanging out with me for some long days in the afternoons and evenings at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Here, top of the key, it's Dorchester with it on the left side. Bailey Behrens with the basketball on the left wing inside. The jumper on the way, no good. It was off back iron, but Yeager able to fight for the basketball. Howley has it for Falls City Sacred Heart. We have a jump ball, and possession arrow gives it to Falls City Sacred Heart as Howley Jones was sitting crisscross down on the hardwood holding the basketball, and Dorchester came in and tied her up. All right, here we go. Falls City Sacred Heart with the basketball. Across the timeline it falls as Daisy Witt with the basketball left side. Here's Santo. Santo now to Howley Jones at the top of the key. 7.5 to go, second quarter. On the right side, now top of the key, Daisy Witt. Daisy Witt with the basketball. She fires away. She can't connect. Rebound fought for and won by Falls City Sacred Heart. Here is Dorothy Krause. Krause. On the left side, it's Daisy Witt with the basketball. 2 more subs sitting ready to check in for Dorchester when we get done with this dead ball. On the left side, we have a whistle and a foul is called against Dorchester defense on the floor, as that one, I believe, is going to go on number 23. No, scratch that. It's going to go on Baylor Behrens, number 13 instead. Zobek checks in for Dorchester as Falls City Sacred Heart inbounds it to the perimeter. Santo with the basketball. Santo steps back. Left side, Daisy Witt. Right side, Santo pops the tray. Can't connect. Offensive rebound number 2 on this trip down the floor for the Irish. On the left wing, here is Daisy Witt for Falls City Sacred Heart. On the right wing, Witt thought about the 3. Now Santo will fire from the right side, unable to connect. And the rebound up the floor to Gabrielle Ties for Dorchester. Here comes Ties, takes the body of the defender, and the ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Falls City Sacred Heart, so it stays on this side of the floor with the Dorchester Longhorns. 6 minutes, 38 seconds to play in the second quarter. Dorchester to inbound. They get it over the top. Here's Lily Lear. Lear will dribble in, kick it out to Gabrielle Ties. She'll fire the 3, and she can't hit that one. And the defensive rebound collected by Lechtenberg of Fall City Sacred Heart. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Gentry Lechtenberg. For what it's worth, I do agree with the call because I saw that Lechtenberg somewhat lowered her lead shoulder into the defender as she was escorting her up the court. However, Fall City Sacred Heart probably not the beneficiary of a lot of calls so far tonight, so I can understand some frustration from that section over there. Now on the left side, here's Lily Lear. She throws the top of the key to Gabrielle Ties. Ties with it on the right wing. Bailey Barons with it, top of the key. Left side now, Lily Lear to Zubek. Zubek with it, crosses over on Daisy Witt. Almost lost the basketball, but gets it back. Now top of the key, it's Bailey Ties once again. And now down low on a pick and roll. Ties can't get the layup to fall. And it's going to be 2 shots at the line, though, because it's a Fall City Sacred Heart foul. Eight to 6 is your score. 5:59 to go in the second quarter. Nick Sander with you from Pinnacle Bank Arena. Bailey Ties first free throw, rattles around, hits the rim, and does not fall. So it's going to be another opportunity for Bailey Ties coming up. 5:59 to play in the first half. 8 to 6 is your score. The second one on the way. That one is also no good for Bailey Ties. It's 0 for 2 on that trip down the floor for the Dorchester Longhorns from the free throw line. On the right side, it's Daisy Witt. Witt will bring it to the top of the key. She sets up. Now Santo down low. Hallie Jones in the lane. She is fouled. And Hallie Jones will go to the line to shoot 2 shots. That is Zobek's second personal foul. And so that's something to watch going forward as both teams struggling to find the bottom of the bucket. One team is shooting 2 for 15 from the field, which equates to 13%. The other team is shooting 2 for 14 from the field, which equates to 14%. Fall City Sacred Heart's only 2 makes on the day are from the three-point line. Here's Hallie Jones. The first free throw is no good. The second one is. So here we have it. 9 to 6 is your score. 5:44 to go in the second quarter. Dorchester passes right side. Gabrielle Ties with the basketball. Ties looking for help. Finds Lily Lear down low. Lily Lear almost got it poked away. Now up top to Barons. Barons left side. Here is number 5 for Dorchester, Olivia Schweitzer into the game. Barons with it, tries to drive baseline, gets past the defender in the lane. The layup is no good. As Barons just botched that layup. Here comes Daisy Witt. Witt doesn't get picked up. Now passes into the far corner. Number 11. This is Reschke back into the game. Elise Reschke in for the Irish. Down low, Hallie Jones. The layup in the lane is good with the foul. And it's going to be a foul on Bailey Ties. That'll be Ties' first on Bailey Ties. And so with 5:08 to go in the second quarter, it's 11 to 6. And Hallie Jones is going back to the line to shoot one more free throw. The attempt by Hallie Jones. It banks in. It's good. 12 to 6 is your score. 5:07 to play in the second quarter. Here comes Bailey Barons, now left side. And the shot's blocked on the attempt by Gabrielle Ties. Great job by Santo defensively for Fall City Sacred Heart. And now here comes Krause. Krause at the top of the key. Gives it to Santo. Santo working on the right side of Barons. Now Daisy Witt will fire a three-pointer on the way. It rims in and out. And the rebound fought for. Bodies on the ground. And it's won by Fall City Sacred Heart. Fall City Sacred Heart has 3 offensive rebounds now on the day. Here's Daisy Witt, right side Santo. Santo back to Witt. Witt with 4.5 to go in the second quarter. The chair was pulled out from underneath Hallie Jones down low, and she hit the deck. Down to the far corner, three-pointer on the way. It's good for Daisy Witt. Brandon Bruja wants a timeout, and that will take a pause in the action. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. We'll step aside with them. 30 seconds, and we're back here at Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Now back to the 2025 State Basketball Tournament live from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
4 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the second quarter. 15-6 is your score as Falls City Sacred Heart is out in front by 9 points over the Dorchester Longhorns. On the right side, it's Behrens now working his left side. Behrens down low. Bailey Ties puts up a tough shot, not able to hit it. She is able to get her follow-up, and she is able to get the layup to go. Bailey Ties now with her first 2 points of the game. 15-8 is the score. 3:52 to play in the second quarter. Here's Santo. Santo down low. Hallie Jones. Jones with it, going to work on Bailey Ties. The layup is good. Hallie Jones might have the advantage tonight, and Falls City Sacred Heart, I think, is starting to learn it as she now has 6 points on the day. The pass on the back cut goes off the leg of Falls City Sacred Heart underneath, and that's going to be Dorchester basketball still as they trail it 17-8 with 3:35 to go in the second quarter. So a baseline inbound here for Dorchester as they get it in. As Behrens, the inbounder, looks and they get it into Ties, who immediately hands it off to Behrens, back to Ties. Now the floater, air ball, missed everything. Santo with the defensive rebound. Here comes Santo. Avery Santo, 3-ball on the way, and it rims out no good. The rebounded by Danielle Ties, and Behrens will slow it down at the direction of Brandon Bruhal, the Dorchester head coach. Behrens crosses the timeline, looking right side. Now top of the key. Danielle Ties with it. Passes it left side. Ties to Gabrielle Ties. She wanted to step back and fire that three. Did not do so. Now Behrens tries to beat him off the dribble in the lane. Behrens is fouled, and Bailey Behrens will go to the line to shoot 2 shots. 2:56 to play, second quarter. It's 17-8. Falls City Sacred Heart on top of the Dorchester Longhorns. But Dorchester at the free throw line for 2 shots. The first one for Bailey Behrens is good, no good. I counted the chicken before it hatched. I apologize, Bailey Behrens. It looked like it was halfway down. Two minutes, 56 seconds to go in the second quarter. 17-8 is your score. Falls City Sacred Heart on top by 9. The second free throw also no good. Rebound fought for, and we're going to have a jump ball that will give it to the Dorchester Longhorns. So they get another crack at it offensively. So a baseline inbound here for Dorchester. 2:55 to play in the second quarter. As Zubek to inbound with those 2 fouls. She gets out. Bailey Ties fires the 3. That one is good. Bailey Ties holds up the 3 fingers. And here we go. 17-11 is your score. Inside, Santo has it. Wasn't ready for the pass, but was able to haul it in. Now DC Witt with the basketball. Top of the key. It goes down low. Hallie Jones. Jones in the lane. The layup is no good. And the rebound corralled offensively. DC Witt with a crack at it. No good. Offensive board. The putback will not fall. And Dorchester comes away with the defensive rebound. Here comes the Dorchester Longhorns. Zubek, left side. Zobek, down low. Yeager gets it stripped out of her hands. It stays in bounds. Body's on the floor, and it's going to be out of bounds. And it will stay with the Dorchester Longhorns as Krause slid on the hardwood, and her backside ended up touching the white line directly in front of us. Zobek to inbound as she gets it into Behrens. Behrens with it near the top of the key. As they get it for Bailey ties. Ties turns around. Floater good. Bailey ties in a little bit of a groove here as Dorchester now trails 17-13. Sacred Heart is 0 for their last 4 shooting the ball. Here is Daisy Witt as Dorchester's fan base gets to their feet and starts to cheer on their defense. Hallie Jones' shot is blocked out of bounds, and it will stay with the Falls City Sacred Heart Irish. 1:42 to play in the second quarter. It's 17-13, Falls City Sacred Heart. 4-point lead for the Irish as it's a baseline inbound here for the Irish. Three-pointer rims around and out. No good on the attempt by Avery Santo. Here comes Dorchester. Baylor Barons with the basketball. Back to Zubek. She goes. Zubek to the top of the key. Left side Barons. Barons gets guarded by Santo. Barons circles back out to Yeager. Now to Barons. Barons thought about popping the tray. Gets out to Zubek. 3 ball on the way. It won't fall. Rebound tipped around a couple of times. It will go out of bounds. And to the Falls City Sacred Heart Irish. 17-13, Falls City Sacred Heart out in front with 1:11 to go in the second quarter. 17-13, Falls City Sacred Heart out in front by 4. The 3 ball, Daisy Witt on the way. It looks good, and it is good. 20-13, Daisy Witt extends the Irish lead to 7, as that's their first shot made in the last 6 attempts, and the first in the last 2.5 minutes of game time. Here's Gabrielle Ties, left side Barons with 45 seconds on the clock. Barons in the center of the lane, dumps it down low, and we have a foul on the defender. That is Krause. Dorothy Krause is charged with the foul. That is Krause's second as well. Both teams starting to find a little more rhythm offensively here. 20-13 is your score. 43 seconds to go in the second quarter. Left side Yeager. Now to Gabrielle Ties for 3. It's just a little short. The rebound and a foul is called on Bailey Ties. So on the rebound attempt, Bailey Ties commits the personal with 36.2 seconds to go in the second quarter. That is the second personal foul on Ties. So now Ties and Zobek both have 2 personal fouls. 35 seconds to go in the second quarter. Falls City Sacred Heart with the basketball. And now left side here is number 11. That is Elise Reschke. Now to Daisy Witt. Maybe a half a second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here is Daisy Witt. Witt with the basketball. Looking around. Spins around with 7 to shoot. Witt, cross court. Into the near side. Here's Westengard. She shoots. She can't hit. And we have a foul now charged to Falls City Sacred Heart. And that means that Dorchester is going to shoot 2 shots because they're in the bonus. .7 seconds on the game clock here. 20-13 is your score. Yeager at the line to shoot 2. First one on the way. It's no good. Feel like this is probably one area that Dorchester could make up some ground in, but instead they are now 1 for 7 from the free throw line. The second one on the way is no good. Make it 1 for 8. Oof. And there is the horn, as that is it for the first half of action. Your score in the Class D2 state championship game, the Falls City Sacred Heart Irish 20 and the Dorchester Longhorns 13. We'll step aside, come back in a short while with thoughts from the first 2 quarters of action from Pinnacle Bank Arena here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, personal banking like you remember.
Hi, this is Chris Elgert, loan originator at Lincoln Federal. I know that buying a home is one of the most important decisions a person will make in their lifetime. That's why you need an experienced loan professional to explain all the options available, to answer all your questions, and to make the home buying process a rewarding experience. Talk with me and discover why Lincoln Federal is personal banking like you remember. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Take a big step toward your dream career and apply today at doane.edu/apply.
When you or a loved one hears the words, "You have cancer," you want to make sure you're surrounded by a team you can trust, who will be a true partner in your cancer journey. At NHO, you'll be treated like family, and you'll feel that compassion every time you walk through our doors. After all, this is the fight of your life, and you'll need the best people to be on your side. We're Nebraska Hematology Oncology. On your side, by your side.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of hand-cut fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Stocking all the top brands, including Can-Am, Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Sea-Doo, Manitow pontoon boats, and Triton trailers. Come check out Nebraska's newest Indian motorcycle dealership, plus score big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has it all under one roof at their new 27th and I-80 location, and they can't wait to get you set up for the summer.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
High school basketball fans, take a trip over to the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame while you're in town for state hoops. Admission is free, and it's a great way to learn about some of the greatest athletes and teams to come out of the state, from recently to over 100 years ago in all sports. Learn more about names like Gale Sayers, Johnny Rogers, Bob Gibson, Tom Osborne, and more. Open Wednesday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. It's the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame, just north of Haymarket Park at 500 Charleston Street. Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
It may not feel like it, but planting season is on its way, and now's the time to upgrade your equipment with a late model John Deere planter from Acres Equipment. Acres has an entire lineup of John Deere planters equipped with the latest technology to ensure planting accuracy throughout your field. And to get you up and going, each planter purchase from Acres includes in-field startup support from one of our Precision Ag professionals. Warmer weather is coming soon, so don't delay. Visit your local Acres for details. Offer expires April 30th, 2025.
Now back to the action at Pinnacle Bank Arena for the 2025 State Basketball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in Pinnacle Bank Arena, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Your score at the half, Ball City Sacred Heart 20 and the Dorchester Longhorns 13. Still have some time before we begin the third quarter here at PBA, so we'll go through a couple of the stat lines here from that first half. First, for the Dorchester Longhorns, 13 points on 5 of 23 from the field. Those 3 of those 5 shots came from Bailey Tighe. She's 3 for 8, 1 for 1 from beyond the arc, and 4 rebounds to go with her 7 points. She also has 1 assist and 1 block in a little over 15 minutes of action. The other star players for the Dorchester Longhorns just haven't shown up. Simply put, Allie Zubek has been dealing with some foul trouble. She only has 3 points and 2 personal fouls, so she had to sit on the bench. She had quite a limit on minutes in that first 2 quarters, while Lily Lear, who had a nice day on Thursday, when we saw him, Lily Lear was 1 for 3 in that first half, and with 2 rebounds to go with her 3 points as well. Gabrielle Tighe, one of the seniors on this team, 0 for 5 from the field, just so 0 points, 2 rebounds, 2 turnovers, only 1 assist for Gabrielle Tighe. So Dorchester struggling to find the bottom of the net, 5 of 23 as a team, 2 for 11 from beyond the three-point line. And maybe this is where the most shocking and noteworthy statistic lies. At the free throw line, 1 for 8 is Dorchester from the charity stripe, and that is just not going to do the job when you're in the Class D2 state title game and you're trying to win a close one. As Falls City Sacred Heart is up by 7, guess how many free throws Dorchester has missed? 7. It could be a completely different ball game, even if it's not like it's out of hand. I want to make sure that's clear, but it could be a completely different ball game if Dorchester was able to knock in 4 or 5, maybe even all 7 more of those free throws and go 7 of 8, 8 of 8 potentially. Who knows? The game probably looks a lot different right now. It might even be tied. Falls City Sacred Heart, they had a nice half from Daisy Witt. Daisy Witt had 9 points to lead all scorers, as well as Hallie Jones. They went to Hallie Jones there early on in the second quarter and seemed like they found something that worked for them. However, Hallie Jones then struggled to find the bottom of the bucket, and she goes 2 for 5 in that first half. She was 2 for 3 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds to go with her 6 points. Daisy Witt, 3 of 8, 9 points, 3 rebounds to lead all scorers. Falls City Sacred Heart not necessarily shooting great from the field either. 6 of 26 from the field, 4 of 15 from the three-point line. However, they are hitting their free throws when they get opportunities, 4 for 5. The Falls City Sacred Heart Irish outscored Dorchester in both quarters, obviously, 8-6 in the first quarter and 12-7 in the second quarter, and that's how we got to the point we are. 20-13 is your score. No bad turnover issues for either side. Dorchester has 3, while Falls City Sacred Heart has 2. No real turnover issues there for either side. As this is our final Class D2, final championship that we will have on the ticket for girls action coming up this week. Tonight, it's the D2. We saw Class A get crowned at 1 o'clock today, Millard West, with a dominating win over Westside. Omaha Skutt knocked off Gretna East right before this game. Lincoln Christian beat Milford earlier this morning. Oakland Craig defeated Elkhorn Valley in Class C2. And in our first game of the day, the Pender Pendragons put a whooping on the Elm Creek Buffaloes. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we have third quarter action coming at you from Pinnacle Bank Arena here on 93.7 The Ticket.
When you or a loved one hears the words, "You have cancer," you want to make sure you're surrounded by a team you can trust, who will be a true partner in your cancer journey. At NHO, you'll be treated like family, and you'll feel that compassion every time you walk through our doors. After all, this is the fight of your life, and you'll need the best people to be on your side. We're Nebraska Hematology Oncology. On your side, by your side.
It's the two-fingered wave on a gravel road. It's letting the kids take dad's truck to prom. It's Friday nights under the lights of a hometown football field. Eustace Body Shop knows small towns. It's where our values are rooted. We treat our people right, and in turn, they treat you, our customer, right. And we give back to our communities. Not much more small town than that. Eustace Body Shop, small town service, big city technology.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
It may not feel like it, but planting season is on its way, and now's the time to upgrade your equipment with a late model John Deere planter from Acres Equipment. Acres has an entire lineup of John Deere planters equipped with the latest technology to ensure planting accuracy throughout your field. And to get you up and going, each planter purchased from Acres includes in-field startup support from one of our Precision Ag professionals. Warmer weather is coming soon, so don't delay. Visit your local Acres for details. Offer expires April 30th, 2025.
High school basketball fans, take a trip over to the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame while you're in town for state hoops. Admission is free, and it's a great way to learn about some of the greatest athletes and teams to come out of the state, from recently to over 100 years ago in all sports. Learn more about names like Gale Sayers, Johnny Rogers, Bob Gibson, Tom Osborne, and more. Open Wednesday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. It's the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame, just north of Haymarket Park at 500 Charleston Street.
Now back to the 2025 State Basketball Tournament live from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in Pinnacle Bank Arena. The start of the second half. 20-13 is your score. Falls City Sacred Heart out in front of Dorchester. As we have surpassed the 9 p.m. hour local time, we had our first tip-off at 9 a.m., and here we are. I'm sitting in this very same chair at 9 p.m. We're ready to go. As Falls City Sacred Heart will have the basketball to start the third quarter. Put 8 minutes on the game clock. Dorchester down by 7. The Irish with the basketball. Working to the basket now to our left. Here is Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg had 2 fouls early on, and she immediately gets the basketball, but gets it poked away, taken away by Bailey Ties. Nice job there by the Dorchester Longhorns. Dorchester with the basketball. They bring it across the timeline. Here is Bailey Ties to Behrens. Back to Ties. Now Zubek, 3-ball on the way. It's way too long. Missed it badly. And here comes Daisy Witt for the Falls City Sacred Heart Irish. Now left side. Santo for 3. Got it. Avery Santo with a massive 3-pointer to start the second half of play. And it's now a 10-point Falls City Sacred Heart lead, as now on the top of the key, 3-ball Lily Lear. She can't get that to go, and the defensive rebound collected by Falls City Sacred Heart. Here comes Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg running the floor in the lane. Almost lost the basketball, now does lose it to Zubek. Zubek navigating her way through traffic. She'll pick it up and throw it to Behrens, who gives it to Gabrielle Ties for 3 on the way. No good, and Gabrielle Ties struggling to find a bucket here today. She is 0 for 6 shooting the basketball. And we have a foul on the attempted rebound as Dorchester tried to create some extra space when they tried to grab that offensive rebound. 6 minutes, 54 seconds to go in the third quarter. Nick Sainert with you, Pinnacle Bank Arena. Jackson Kleinschmidt back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Here's Daisy Witt across the timeline. Witt with it on the left side, crosses over. Now back to Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg at the top of the key, working on Behrens in the lane. The layup is good for Gentry Lechtenberg. Nice job there by Gentry to create enough space on the right side. And 25-13 is your score. Right side, it's Gabrielle Ties. Ties looking for help down low. Lily Lear in the lane. The layup is good for Lily Lear. It's back to a 10-point ball game, 25-15, 6:17 to play in the third quarter. Here is Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg at the top of the key. Has it left side to Krause. Krause with it. Dorothy Krause. Where's number 3 for Falls City Sacred Heart? Now Santo. Down low. Lechtenberg working on the defender. The layup is good. Nice job by Gentry Lechtenberg. As Dorchester with the basketball throws it up the floor to Gabrielle Ties. Ties down low to Bailey Ties. Bailey looks back top of the key. Free throw line jumper Lily Lear. It does not fall. And Falls City Sacred Heart goes the other way, leading 27-15 with 5:42 to go in the third quarter. The Jumper from the elbow does not fall. The putback no good by Lechtenberg, and Bailey Ties collects the defensive rebound for Dorchester. Here's Bailey Ties looking around, will not pass it out of it. Now throws it right side to Zobek. Zobek with it to Bailey Behrens at the near the logo. 5:20 to go, third quarter. Here's Bailey Ties. Ties, top of the key. Gabrielle Ties for three. Still can't find it. And now the rebound is saved from going out of bounds by Gentry Lechtenberg, as Lechtenberg will bring it up the floor and immediately get bumped. No whistle. Now Lechtenberg near corner. Santo, three ball on the way. Missed it. Rebound in the hands of Hallie Jones, and Hallie is fouled, and Hallie Jones is going to go to the free throw line to shoot 2 shots. Don't forget, folks, it's daylight savings time tonight. So we all, I believe, lose an hour. 27-15 is your score. 5:02 to go in the third quarter. We have a stoppage in play as Mackenzie Yeager will sub in for Bailey Ties. Now you have it with Hallie Jones after she missed the first free throw. The second one is on the way, and it is no good. It did not hit the rim, or no, rather, excuse me. They're going to say that it's going to be a lane violation on Dorchester. And so Brandon Bruja needs to explain it to Gabrielle Ties. As the second free throw is on the way, it's also no good. So it didn't even matter. Null and void. Here as Bailey Behrens has it on the right side. Behrens with the basketball. She throws it up the floor to Gabrielle Ties. Ties with it now. Passes it top of the key. Left wing now. It's Zubek. Zubek with it. In the right side to Gabrielle Ties. To Yeager. Back to Ties. Three ball on the way. That one is finally good for Gabrielle Ties. 4.5 to play in the third quarter. 27-18 is your score. Dorchester has brought it back to a single-digit ball game. Daisy Witt tries the three-pointer. She hit it, but it's going to be nullified as it's an offensive foul on the moving screen on number 35, Hallie Jones. We have a timeout on the floor. We'll step aside with them. We'll step aside, come back in 90 seconds right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Stocking all the top brands, including Can-Am, Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Sea-Doo, Manitow pontoon boats, and Triton trailers. Come check out Nebraska's newest Indian motorcycle dealership, plus score big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has it all under one roof at their new 27th and I-80 location, and they can't wait to get you set up for the summer. Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Now back to the 2025 State Basketball Tournament live from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
4 minutes, 28 seconds to go in the third quarter. Nick Sander back with you from Pinnacle Bank Arena. 27-18 is your score here in the Class D2 state championship game. Bailey Behrens passes it to Mackenzie Yeager, gives it back to Behrens, now to as it is, I'm going Zubek. Goodness sakes, I could not think of the name off the top of my head. I apologize. As Zubek fired the three, and now it's a defensive rebound for Fall City Sacred Irish. Sacred Heart, as we have a defensive foul called on a reach-in. It's going to go on number... They call that on Zubek? They sure... No, rather they called it on... I'll tell you in just a moment. Gabrielle Ties in the lane. The layup by Fall City Sacred Heart will not fall. Hallie Jones put back. That one is good. And Dorchester, a couple of Dorchester players took a tumble on that layup by Hallie Jones. Here we go as Dorchester trails 29-18. Down low, Lily Lear in the lane. The layup is blocked by Daisy Witt. It's saved from going out of bounds. No, it's not. It's going to be Dorchester basketball. 3:37 to go in the third quarter. Baseline inbound here for Dorchester. Looking inbound is Zubek. Zubek looking, still looking. She'll throw it over the top to Lear. Lear will grab it at the top of the key. Risky pass inside, and it's stolen by Hallie Jones, as that was like a quarterback putting the receiver on a slant pass across the middle with the defensive back just waiting for her. And now on the missed shot on this end with Fall City Sacred Heart, it's going to go out of bounds. It'll be Dorchester basketball. (29-18) your score. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Nick Sainert with you from Pinnacle Bank Arena. It's our last game of the girls' state tournament before we have a 3-day break. And the boys will kick us off next Wednesday. Here's Lily Lear with the basketball. Take Ties. Gabrielle Ties. Now top of the key, Lily Lear with the basketball on the left elbow. She gets it taken away. Stolen by Fall City Sacred Heart. Here comes Fall City Sacred Heart in the lane. The layup is good. Dorothy Kraus is able to get the layup to fall, as now Lily Lear has it at the top of the key. On the right side, it is Zubek. Zubek, left side. 3-ball. Barons, way too strong. And it is saved from going out of bounds by Daisy Witt of Fall City Sacred Heart. Up the floor we go with Fall City Sacred Heart leading by 13, 31-18 as Daisy Witt tries the three. She misses that one badly, and it's going to be out of bounds. Last touched by Fall City Sacred Heart. Two minutes, 26 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's 31-18. Dorchester with a 13-point deficit facing them. And they just subbed Zubek out of the game. But Dorchester does have the basketball here as they're about ready to inbound it, and they give it to Barons. Baylor, Barons, Gabrielle Ties. Ties now to Lily Lear in the lane. Lily Lear, the jumper is good for Lily Lear. It's 31-20. 2 minutes, 9 seconds to go in the third quarter. 31-20 your score. Fall City Sacred Heart out in front by 11. They have the basketball on the left side. Fall City Sacred Heart gives it to Santo. Santo down low. Lechtenberg working on Barons. Can't hit the layup, and she tips the rebound out of bounds to Dorchester. So a nice stop defensively there by Dorchester. Got to string a couple of those together. And it'll be 31-20 Dorchester's ball, but they're down by 11. Here on the right side, Gabrielle Ties. Ties now to Lear. Lear fakes the left pass. Now back cut to Barons. It goes through her hands, and it will be out of bounds to Fall City Sacred Heart. A little bit of a sloppier second half here for both sides. Dorchester and Fall City Sacred Heart both with 3 turnovers in the quarter. Here on the right side, Daisy Witt to Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg, spin move in the lane. The layup is good. Nice job by Gentry Lechtenberg. Here comes Dorchester down by 13. This is the largest lead of the day for Fall City Sacred Heart. Down low in the lane, Lily Lear able to get it to fall from the right side. Nice job by Lily Lear. 1:05 to play in the third quarter. It's 33-22. Daisy Witt with the basketball. She bounces it top of the key. Hallie Jones with it. On the right side now is Krause. On the left side, it's Santo. Santo to Daisy Witt. She fires the three, misses it off target. Rebound fought for, and eventually won by Fall City Sacred Heart. And we have a timeout called by head coach Luke Santo of Fall City Sacred Heart with 44.3 on the game clock. That rebound, it could have been Dorchester's, but 2 Longhorns fought over it, and then it just popped out of their hands and went right to the Irish player. .3 seconds to go in the third quarter. (33-22) is your score. Nick Sainert back with you from Pinnacle Bank Arena. (33-22). Falls City Sacred Heart out in front by 11. Dorchester trailing. Avery Santo will inbound it directly in front of us here. 44.3 on the game clock. Santo to inbound. As she looks in, she gets it into Lechtenberg, who fakes the handoff back to Santo. Santo in the lane. The left-hand layup is good for Lechtenberg. 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. On the right side, here is Schweitzer. Schweitzer to Yeager, left side Behrens. Behrens with 26 seconds on the game clock in the third quarter, splitting through the double team. The layup is no good, but she is fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2 shots. As the first free throw is no good. Dorchester, their woes at the free throw line continue. They are now 1 for 9 from the free throw line. Lily Lear, the only Dorchester player to hit a free throw, as the second free throw is good by Bailey Behrens. She goes 1 for 2 on her trip. They are now 2 for 10 from the charity stripe. The pass up the floor. Guys hauled in by Falls City Sacred Heart down the floor. Hallie Jones, the layup high off the glass, and it falls. 37-23 is your score. Zubek with the basketball across the timeline. She gets it to Behrens. Behrens back to Zubek. She fires the close to half-court heave, and it was not even close. There's still 3 seconds on the game clock in the third quarter, and Brandon Bruhaw, the head coach for Dorchester, is kind of confused on why even take that shot. There's so much time left. Daisy Witt with half a second. There she goes, as that half-court heave will not count. And that is the end of the third quarter. Your score, Falls City Sacred Heart 37, the Dorchester Longhorns 23. We'll be back in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of hand-cut fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you the highest quality roofing solutions. Whether it's new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Now back to the action at Pinnacle Bank Arena for the 2025 State Basketball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
One final quarter here in the 2025 NSAA Girls State Basketball Championships. 37-23 is your score. Falls City Sacred Heart leads by 14. It's their largest lead of the night. Nick Sainer back with you. Jackson Kleinschmidt in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Appreciate him spending the late hours of the night. Feels like the late hours of the night. It's only 9:21 p.m. Here's Bailey Behrens past the timeline on the right side. Here is Zubek to Behrens. Behrens on the left side. Pass down low inside the paint is going to be deflected out of bounds. It will stay with Dorchester, as Hallie Jones was the last one to touch it, this time for Falls City Sacred Heart. So baseline inbound coming up for Zubek. Zubek with the basketball. Looking around. Inbounds it now to Lily Lear. Lear with it top of the key. Here's Gabriella Ties. Gabby Ties passes it to Behrens. Still 19 seconds on the possession here, early stage fourth quarter. Ties now to Gabby Ties. Ties will fire the three from the right side. Can't hit that one. Gabby Ties having an off night. She's now 1 for 9 from the field, 1 for 9 from beyond the three-point line. All 9 of her attempts have come from beyond the three-point line. Dorchester as a team, 3 for 20 from beyond the three-point line tonight. It's not like Falls City Sacred Heart is much better, 5 for 19. Here on the right side is Dorothy Krause. Left side, Daisy. Now into Santo. Santo on the left wing. She collects herself, fires the three, and she can't hit. Defensive rebound to Lily Lear for the Dorchester Longhorns. Up the floor to Zubek. Zubek near the logo now. Behrens back to Zubek. Zubek for the Longhorns offense. Passes to Bailey Ties, who fires the three away. That one's halfway down and then pops out, but an offensive board. Lily Lear, she can't get the layup to go, as now Gentry Lechtenberg comes up the floor, and Lechtenberg takes a big tumble. You might have been able to hear it. The slide over the microphone. And it was a foul on Bailey Ties. Sideline inbound. Now as they bring it across the timeline, Daisy Witt with the basketball. Passes left side to Daisy Santo, and it's going to be a foul on Zobek. As I believe Lechtenberg might be bleeding. No, it looks like it's going to be okay. Nope, we're good. We're ready to play on. All right, sideline inbound here for Falls City Sacred Heart. Dorchester fans getting a little restless as now left side Santo for three. No good on the attempt. Rebound fought for, and it'll be Dorchester basketball. 6:27 to play, fourth quarter. Dorchester with the basketball. The Longhorns will bring it across the half-court line. Bailey Behrens bounces it to Lily Lear. Down by 14, down low. Bailey Ties in the lane. Shots blocked, and it's going to be Falls City Sacred Heart basketball. It was blocked, last touched by Bailey Ties. And here comes Falls City Sacred Heart. Santo inbounds it to Daisy Witt. Now, here across the timeline, a little bit of extracurricular going on between Zobek and Avery Santo. Now top of the key on the right side. Here is Daisy Witt. Witt with the basketball. Now to Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg down low. Hallie Jones. Jones kicks it out. Dorothy Krause, three, no good. And the rebound is safe from going out of bounds for the time being until now we have a couple bodies flying into some tables next to us, and it'll be Dorchester basketball. A little bit of an out-of-control game. Not necessarily a whole lot of rhythm in this basketball game right now. 37-23. Both sides struggling to consistently find the bottom of the bucket. On the top of the key, Gabriella Ties. Gabby thought about shooting it. Now right side here is Lily Lear with Dorchester down by 14. Left side, Zobek. Zobek drives baseline, working on Lechtenberg. The shot and the foul is called. I believe they're going to get Dorothy Krause on this one. They will. (37-23) is your score. 5:29 to play in the fourth quarter. Here comes the free throw for Zobek. It's good. 37-24 is your score. Here's Zubek's second on the way. It's also good. 37-25 is your score. 5:29 to play in the fourth quarter. Here is Daisy Witt with it for Falls City Sacred Heart in the D-Class D2 state championship game. Santo gets bumped, no whistle. Now to Daisy Witt. Daisy Witt with it, 37-25. Falls City Sacred Heart leads by 12. 5 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Fall City Sacred Heart with the basketball. Working left side, Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg gets bumped. Now to Santo. Santo with 8 seconds on the game clock, and that's going to be a foul called on Zobek, Atlee Zobek. That is number 4 on her. So you have 2 players in there right now for Dorchester with 4 fouls. Atlee Zobek and Bailey Ties. Here is Dorothy Krause for Fall City Sacred Heart. 4:50 to play in the fourth quarter. The the entry pass down low. Hallie Jones gets it to go. It's now 39-25 with 4:44 to play in the fourth quarter on the left side. Here's Gabriella Ties. Gabby Ties to Bailey Ties. Bailey bounces it to the elbow. Mackenzie Yeager can't hang on to the pass. That had a little bit too much sauce on it. Now to Bailey Ties. Dorchester with the basketball. Three-pointer on the way. Does not fall. And Lechtenberg collects the miss for Fall City Sacred Heart. On the right side, it's Santo. Santo brings it across the floor. She dribbles top of the key. Nobody picks her up. She'll fire the 3 on the way, and it's good. Avery Santo makes it a 42-25 lead for Fall City Sacred Heart halfway through the fourth quarter of action. We'll step aside as Dorchester calls a full timeout. It's going to be a 60-second break. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Take a big step toward your dream career and apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Now back to the action at Pinnacle Bank Arena for the 2025 State Basketball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander back with you from Pinnacle Bank Arena. 42-25 is your score. 4:11 to go in the fourth quarter here. Fall City Sacred Heart leads by their largest amount so far tonight, 17. Dorchester does have the basketball, though, as Gabby Ties has it now to Lily Lear. Lear right side to, that is Bailey Behrens, and that's going to be a charging call on Bailey Behrens. She lowered her shoulder and extended the arm, and that is an offensive foul on Bailey Behrens. So with 4:04 to go in the fourth quarter, it's 42-25. Fall City Sacred Heart with the lead. And Dorchester on defense needing some stops. Here is Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg across the timeline, gets met by Behrens, gets bumped, no call. Now Lechtenberg with it, top of the key. Has a screen right from Hallie Jones on the right side. Now it's Daisy Witt. Witt working around Ties. The layup in the lane, no good. Rebounded by Ties. Somehow Daisy Witt gets it back. In the middle of a couple black jerseys, Daisy Witt got the rebound. Here on the top of the key, here is Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg is going to be fouled by Baylor Behrens. That's going to be number 3 on Baylor Behrens. So now you're getting into some serious foul trouble, and I understand Dorchester probably some frustration here being down the entirety of the game, but ultimately you have Atlee Zobek, Baylor Behrens, and Bailey Ties, 3 of your most important players, with Baylor has 3 fouls and the other 2 have 4. But then you say, well, that's okay. We have Gabby Ties to, shoot us out of this, but she's shooting 1 for 10 on the day. As both free throws are good, and Fall City Sacred Heart now extends their lead to 44-25. They're on a current 7-0 run over the last minute and a half of game time. Ties left side to Gabby Ties. Back to Bailey Ties. She fires the 3 from the top of the key, missed it badly. And now we have a foul on Bailey Ties as she was going for the offensive rebound. And Bailey Ties has fouled out of the game. 3 minutes and 18 seconds remain in the fourth quarter, and Bailey Ties fouls out of the game. It's the last time she'll share it, the court that is, with Gabby Ties. First free throw is good by Lechtenberg. (45-25), make it 46-25, as now Dorchester trails by 21 to Fall City Sacred Heart. 3:17 to play in the fourth quarter. Here on the left side, it's Gabby Ties. Gabby Ties with the basketball, gives it to Lily Lear. Now that pass intercepted by Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg will bring it up the floor for Fall City Sacred Heart, as Fall City Sacred Heart has the basketball right in front of us. Guarded closely by Gabby Ties. Lechtenberg gets bumped, and it's going to be a foul called on Gabby Ties. That is Gabby's second. Lechtenberg able to hit the first free throw. Lily Lear checks out while number 5, Livia Schweitzer, checks in. Fall City Sacred Heart up by the score of 48-25. It's a 23-point lead. They're on an 11-0 run over the last 2 minutes of game time. Here's the right side, Zobek. Zobek into Schweitzer. Schweitzer now work into Zobek. Zobek, top of the key, left side. 2:45 to play in the fourth quarter. 3-ball, Bailey Behrens can't fall, and the defensive rebound collected by Daisy Witt. Here is Daisy Witt on the right side. She stops, guarded by Zobek. Zobek forces her to drive to her left side, now gives it. This is Reschke. Reschke gives to Santo, back to Reschke for Fall City Sacred Heart. She picks up her dribble, gives it to Lechtenberg. 2 minutes, 19 seconds until Class D2 coronation, as Daisy Witt has it on the left wing. Top of the key, guarded by Zobek. Daisy Witt in the lane. She will get called for a charge as she lowered the shoulder into Baylor Behrens, and that will give the basketball back to the Dorchester Longhorns with 2:09 to go in the fourth quarter. Luke Santo subs Avery Santo out of the game. She subs out. 2:09 to go in the fourth quarter. Here across the timeline, top of the key, Mackenzie Yeager fires the three, can't hit it. She gets her own miss on the long rebound, though, and it's back out top to Zobek. Right side, here's Schweitzer. Schweitzer, right side of the lane. Shot blocked from behind. Hallie Jones gets the defensive rebound, and Fall City Sacred Heart has the basketball. Here comes Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg looking around, as they give it to Daisy Witt. Daisy Witt with the basketball, guarded closely by Gabrielle Ties. Gabriella Ties with it, now hands it off right side. Here is number 4, Weston Guard. We have a 30-second timeout for substitutions, and Fall City Sacred Heart will probably take all of their starters out of the game. They are up 48-25 with 1:23 to go in the fourth quarter, and Fall City Sacred Heart is close to winning their third state championship in the last 4 years. They won it in 2022, 2023. They did not make it to the state championship game in 2024, but they're about to win it here in 2025. The dominance in the postseason by Fall City Sacred Heart is truly impressive. 1998, 1999, 2000, 2015, 2017, 2018, 2022, and 2023 state champions in Class D1 and D2 combined. Runner-up in 02, 03, 07, 2019, and 2021 as Krause able to get the layup to fall. Dorothy Krause. Here comes Dorchester with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the game. Michaela Lorica with it at the top of the key, now left side into the far corner, and the ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Dorchester. And so Fall City Sacred Heart will have the basketball with 1 minute to go in the fourth quarter. Here is Fall City Sacred Heart on the right side. Gives it off to Westengard. Westengard has it on the left elbow. Now to number 15, Emily Tubbs. She fires a shot. Can't connect. The offensive rebound is good on the shot by Elise Reschke. Now here comes Dorchester with 34 seconds on the game clock. Michaela Lorca, left side. Now to Savannah June. The mid-range jumper, no good. Gets her own miss. Puts it back up. Can't hit it. The defensive rebound for Fall City Sacred Heart with 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Fall City Sacred Heart is going to be your 2025 Class D2 state champions in the matter of 10 seconds as the clock is running. Shot up. Dorchester gets it. Michaela Lorca goes forward. Michaela Lorca with 5 on the game clock. Right side. Dorchester with 1 on the game clock. There's the horn. And Fall City Sacred Heart, they are your 2025 Class D2 state champions as they dominate Dorchester 52-25 here in the Class D2 state championship game at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Fall City Sacred Heart as a team, they shoot 35% from the field. They shoot 26% from beyond the three-point line, but that was enough. They used a 15-1 run over the last 5 minutes of game time. They forced a scoring drought by Dorchester in the last 5.5 minutes of game time. They used that to propel them to a 52-25 win, a 27-point victory for the Fall City Sacred Heart Irish. Leading scorer for Fall City Sacred Heart was number 12, Gentry Lechtenberg, which is pretty impressive considering that she had to sit out for a good chunk of that first half because of foul trouble. She finishes with 16 points on 4 of 11 shooting, and maybe most importantly, 8 of 8 from the free throw line. Gentry Lechtenberg has a double-double, 16 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 1 steal. Second on the team in scoring for Fall City Sacred Heart was Hallie Jones, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 1 steal. And 2 players, Avery Santo and Daisy Witt, tied for third in scoring with 9 points for the Fall City Sacred Heart Irish. They win the Class D2 state championship game 52-25 as they put another notch on their resume, for they are one of the best postseason teams of all time. It is their 9th, I believe, if I counted that correctly. Yes, 9th state tournament championship in school history. It is the 6th time that they've won it in the D2 class, and it comes in dominating fashion, 52-25 over the Dorchester Longhorns. That'll do it for our 2025 NSAA State Girls Basketball coverage. I cannot thank you guys enough for hanging out with me every day, all day, the last 4 days since Wednesday at 9 a.m. We kicked things off with a first-round matchup between it was a first-round matchup between Pender and Howells Dodge, and we wrap it up with Fall City Sacred Heart in the D2 championship game. Once a reminder, the 6 champions across all classes, starting with Class D2, Fall City Sacred Heart. They knock off Dorchester. The Pender Pendragons beat Elm Creek this morning in Class D1. In Class C2, Oakland Craig came from behind and defeated Elkhorn Valley. In Class C1, Lincoln Christian knocked off Milford. In Class B, Omaha Skutt, for the first time in school history, got their state championship. And in Class A, Millard West, Norla and Neely Gessert powered Millard West, the Wildcats, to a state championship, as well as the Wildcats go back-to-back, defeating Omaha West Side. Huge thanks to Jackson Kleinschmidt. Huge thanks to Austin Orman, Jake Bachhoven, Harrison Arns, Jake Sorensen, the entire crew back at our 93.7 The Ticket Studios. I can't thank Jay Foreman enough for his, company and his willingness to hang out with me at Pinnacle Bank Arena for a good chunk of the day, every single day, including today. And thanks to my friend Jackson Kleinschmidt back in our 93.7 The Ticket Studios currently for pushing all the buttons, staying late on a Saturday night as we saw Fall City Sacred Heart knock off Dorchester for the D2 crown. Nick Sainert saying so long one final time until Monday morning when I talk to you guys on the drive with AD Raff and Almon Green. And next Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. as we kick off boys state tournament coverage and do it all again here at PBA. Once again, your final score in Class D2 titles game, Falls City Sacred Heart 52, the Dorchester Longhorns 25. This will conclude our 24-game coverage of girls state tournament action, and you heard it right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you the highest quality roofing solutions. Whether it's new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today. You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of hand-cut fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from